Kit Kats can read. Hey guys, it's Casey. Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a review on 3 Things I Know Are True by Betty Culley. As a very quick disclaimer, I received this physical copy of the book as well as an ebook from the publisher in exchange for an honest review. However, it does not affect my opinion whatsoever. So Harper 360 sent me the physical copy, and I also got an e-arc of it available from Edelweiss, which is a reviewing site that you get ebooks from. So I was reading this from double format, but mostly from this book. So this book, although it does look really bulky, it's actually a book that's told in verse, so it's quite easy to go through. It could be like a day's read for most people, but for us slow readers, maybe like a couple of days. So the generic storyline we have is we have the main girl character called Liv, and her older brother Jonah accidentally shoots himself, and then he pretty much has to have around the clock care from nurses and doctors, and even Liv, who is looking after him as well. And basically how it happened was they found a gun that was in his best friend's house, and pretty much like bang sort of thing, and so it's being investigated. There's going to be a trial against it, and obviously like his best friend Clay is like so confused because he was there. So it's a very traumatic event, not just for Liv and her mum, and even Jonah himself, who is unable to speak or express anything really. He's just sort of like, he has to have a lot of machines to sort of like help him and to help him eat, and it's a very deeply moving novel, and it definitely jerked me around. I was feeling all sorts of emotions with this book. I was happy, I was laughing, I was sad. I found there's so much like quirkiness about Liv the character as well. Like, she's an interesting character and very sort of like intelligent in my opinion, and so like I really liked her character. I really enjoyed the character of Clay, and I wanted to see him in like every scene pretty much because he was an interesting character as well. And I felt so much sorry. I was just so sorry for like poor Jonah and everything that happened. And yeah, it's even difficult for like the mum, just what she has to go through and the amount of work that she has to do, and then the trial. That was just like, oh my goodness, like you could feel all the emotions. Betty Culley did a fantastic job of pushing the emotions through this book. I felt for all of the characters in this book. The only character that I really sort of disliked was Clay's dad, just because of his whole like attitude towards like the whole situation, which you will find out when you read it. But my goodness, all of the emotions towards this book they were so strong, and just as I was going through, like I couldn't stop reading it really, and like I really was like enjoying reading it, and I wanted to find out more. I wanted to know what was going to happen with this trial, what was going to be the ending verdict, and like what was going to happen in the end. And honestly, my heartstrings were pulled out so much. I was even like, I could feel myself like choking, and I could really feel myself being like incredibly sad. And the ending of this book it's very bittersweet sort of ending, and it definitely is sort of, yeah, it's a brilliant ending of a book, and it ended it perfectly in my opinion. And yeah, I really enjoyed how it started out, and there wasn't a single moment of this book where I was actually getting bored. I was really intrigued about the places that Liv visits along with Clay, like this little river, and the sweet things that Clay actually does with Liv as well, like the things, because they have birthdays in this book as well. Oh, it's just, friendship is massive, family is, trauma, and yeah, just so much. So of course I had to give this book 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. I totally recommend people buying it. I will say to you guys now, I don't tend to read books with verses in. I'm not really a fan of books with poetry, so this was like quite new for me. And yeah, I've read a book of slam poetry, and that's by Elizabeth Acevedo, and that was like her first book, and I didn't really like warm to that as much as I did with this. I found this to be more emotional and hard-hitting, and I really enjoyed this, and it flowed so nicely, and the writing was quite easy to follow for me. And yeah, you know, Betty Culley managed to get me to feel all the emotions that she intended for people to feel, and the message that comes across in this. And yeah, I just, the big old message about, like, you know, like guns in America, and like, you know, if there's a gun lying around, obviously don't play with it, it could be loaded, sort of thing. And yeah, it's just, it's so beautiful. And then yeah, I really enjoyed this book. And like the quote on the front says here, two best friends, a single shot, a family broken, which is pretty much the gist of this book. It's very powerful, it's very beautiful, and I totally recommend for people to buy it. Comes out at the beginning of January, so pre-order it and keep your eyes out for it. Definitely add it to your list if you love stories in verse, if you love deeply moving novels. I feel like this is going to be a really big hit, like a really big hit. And yeah, it's so powerful, it's so emotional, and it was so worth the read. And I just want to say a massive thank you to Harper360 again for sending me the physical copy, and again to Edelweiss for HarperCollins, Harper Teen especially, for okaying me to have a ebook of this, because it's so beautiful and I love and adore it. And would I read this book again? Yes, I would. I would definitely read it again, like in a year's time or something, just to, yeah, it's just one of those powerful books that sends a message across, and I love really powerful books, and especially emotional books. And yeah, it's definitely worth the read. So that's it for the end of my review. If there's any other questions, any other thoughts you'd like to know about this book, let me know down below in the comments, or you can message me. All of my social media links are down below in the description as well. But if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. But that's it from me, guys. I hope you're going to have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I will see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!